Good morning. So, in today's class, this is a release class. And so, during the whole process of detoxing, of course, we want to mobilize toxins within the body. Our last class was very much about stimulating our detox organs through twisting and bending. Today's class is going to be about release. So, not only releasing of the physical body, our connective tissues, joints, muscles, and everything, also with the intention of eliminating toxicity that we've shaken up through nutrition and also through our previous classes, including sweating. So our class today, we won't be building a ton of heat in the body. We're going to keep it pretty stretchy today. I've got my heater over here, a little space heater nearby, just because my room is kind of cold. The other thing that I would recommend having on hand is a blanket, and we'll use this not only for our practice, also for Shavasana, so that you can keep yourself toasty warm with your blanket afterwards. The other thing you'll want to have nearby is some water or herbal tea, so making sure that you're hydrated throughout this practice. Take sips whenever you need them. And to start our practice today, you can take your blanket and fold it into a little brick. So basically getting it as thick as possible. Now, you might actually want to use your blocks if you have yoga blocks. Of course, if you don't, no worries. When you have folded your blanket into a little thick brick, you can use that like a block to sit on. And you're coming into a cross-leg position to begin today. Now, if you're here and you're feeling like it's still pretty uncomfortable, if you're not used to sitting in a cross-legged position, then take a moment, pause this video, and grab a couple little cushions, and you can put them underneath of your knees, really supporting yourself in this position. Now, one last tip that I'll give when you're sitting on a support, like a block or a blanket or a bolster, is that you almost want to roll off the front of it a little bit. It's like your butt cheeks kind of stay on the block, but the sit bones roll off the front. What this does is it allows your pelvis to tilt so that it makes sitting upright a little more sustainable for a longer period of time. So once you are in this position, bring your hands onto your lap, palms facing down. This is a very grounding gesture. Will remain for this class today. Close your eyes. And take a deep breath in and release through your mouth. Another breath in, feel your chest rise, your ribs rise, your belly rise. Exhale through your mouth. Feel your shoulders soften on your exhale. One more like this, breathing in through your nose. And release through your mouth. Now close your lips. And continue to breathe these steady, rhythmic breaths. If you're clenching your jaw or if you're clenching your brow bone, soften these places. Feel the features of your face relax, your heart space soften, and your shoulders relax. Again, this class is about releasing, letting go, not only in the physical body, but also beyond that. Anything you're holding on to mentally, allow yourself to be here, now, in this present moment. Anything you may be clinging to emotionally. As you soften your shoulders and your heart space, feel any of that clinging melt away. Now we'll start with the head and the neck this morning. So you can open your eyes if you'd like to look at me, or you can keep your eyes closed and listen to the sound of my voice. We'll start by turning the head from left to right. And as you're moving your head from left to right, almost like you're shaking your head slowly left and right, or yes, and or more of like a no shape. Notice if you can go a little bit deeper as you turn your head each time. Now bring your head back through center, this time looking up and looking down, up and down. Make sure that your shoulders stay relaxed as though they're moving down towards the ground or away from your ears. So as you look down, as you bring your chin to chest, avoid rounding the shoulders. Now, this mobility movement here, we're starting to wake up the cervical spine, the very top of the spine. And we'll start to move down the spine. As you bring your head back to center, breathe in. Now, bring your fingertips onto your elbows or onto your shoulders. Sometimes I confuse the elbows and shoulders. So fingertips onto your shoulders. And you want to lift your elbows here. Now, as you breathe in, twist to the left. And as you breathe out, twist to the right. So we'll move a little more quickly. Another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Back to center. Now from here, you can place your fingertips on the ground. Bring your right ear to your right shoulder. Again, keep the shoulders relaxed. And if you'd like to go even farther here, that left hand, you can flex. And as you flex the left hand, imagine that you're pushing through the heel of the hand, really waking up that entire left side of the neck, the left shoulder, the left arm. Anytime that you feel tension, anytime that you are feeling like there's tightness, breathe into that tightness and release with the exhale. Place your left fingertips on the ground, bring your chin to your chest. And as you inhale, bring your left ear to your left shoulder. Now again, you can stretch the right arm, flex your hand, push through the heel of the hand. Anytime that you feel tension, breathe into that tension, sending the breath wherever you're feeling tight in your body, and imagining that the exhale allows you to release tension. Lower your fingertips to the ground, roll your chin to your chest, and as you inhale, lift your head back up on top of the shoulders. You can bring your arms into a T-shaped position. Now slide to the left, and then slide to the right. Keep the arms parallel to the floor rather than having them sort of totter. So as you're moving from right to left, you're feeling as though your sit bones stay grounded here. Now, the next time you slide to the right, place your right hand on the ground and lift the left arm overhead. Take a big side stretch here. Avoid hanging your head, and instead let your head and neck be aligned with the spine. Take one more deep breath. Feel that whole left rib cage expand on the inhale. And as you exhale, come back into your neutral position, your arms in a T, and then slide to the left this time. Lower your left hand and lift the right arm. Every breath in, you're feeling expansive through the ribs, through the lungs. The exhale, maybe you deepen a little bit more. One more breath. Back to center, inhale. Now lift both arms, take a big stretch up. And place your fingertips on the ground in front of you. We're coming into forward fold. So you might feel as though this is your maximum today. That's totally fine. You might start to walk your hands a little farther forward. Maybe you stay on your hands. Maybe you come down to your forearms. Feel free to round your spine here. You can tuck your chin towards your chest. Again, steady breath. Imagine breathing into the space between your shoulders. It's the back of the heart space. Slowly walk your hands towards you, back into your seated position. You can move your blanket or blocks, whatever you have underneath of you, and come into your tabletop position. Now, from your tabletop position, we'll start with a few cat-cows. Now, before anything, take a moment to draw the navel towards your spine. Now, this is going to flatten your low back. It's almost like you have a glass of water and you're trying not to spill it on your back. And then with the navel to spine, you can keep that engagement and then always begin movement with your tail. So lift your tail, drop your belly, lift your chest and head, breathe in. Tuck your tail, round your spine, tuck your chin, exhale. Again, breathe in, arc your spine. Breathe out, round your spine. Again, breathe in, arc. This is your cow pose. Breathe out, round, cat pose. You can close your eyes if they're still open. And feel that articulation up the spine. And bring yourself slowly with an inhale back to your neutral position. Again, navel to spine. You always want to feel that activation through the core. Come forward into your low plank. You're on your knees, you're on your hands. Engage your glutes here and slowly come down onto your belly. Now, from your belly, bring your hands just underneath of your shoulders and lift your chest. This is baby cobra. And on the exhale, you can lower back down. We'll do this again. Bring your forehead to the ground. Keep the back of your neck in this position. And as you breathe in, lift your chest. Keep your neck nice and long. Exhale, lower back down. We'll do one more. Again, inhale, baby cobra, lift your heart. Exhale, lower down. Let's take our quad stretch here. So bend the right leg, bring your heel towards your glute, and the right arm comes back. You're holding the top of the foot with the right hand. Now, if this is not yet accessible for you, no worries. You can always keep that right leg bent and keep your forehead on the ground. And for those of you who are holding on to the foot, make sure that your inner thighs are nice and close together. And if you'd like to go deeper, you do this by pushing your hips to the floor. So engaging your glutes, pushing your hips to the floor, and make sure to keep the chest and shoulders elevated here. The shoulders roll down the back, your chest stays open. Again, to go a little bit deeper for the last couple of breaths, you can always do this by pushing into the top of the right foot as though you're kicking the top of your foot towards the ceiling. Now, release the right leg and bring your arms into your Sphinx pose. So your palms and your forearms are on the mat in front of you. Now, make sure that your elbows are as close together as your shoulders. With your palms grounded, imagine dragging the floor towards you, dragging the mat towards you. This will lengthen your whole upper body. And then slide the right knee into your half frog position. So the right knee slides towards the right elbow. And then in this position, keep the chest elevated and the shoulders strong. You're looking between your hands. Now again, this means that rather than sinking into the shoulders and having your head hang, your shoulders stay strong and the back of your neck stays long. Relax your jaw, especially as we get into the hip space. Relax your jaw. One more breath here. Now slide the right leg down. And this time we're taking our twisty belly shoulder stretch. So your right arm comes into a T-shaped position, your palm facing down. Now, your left leg bends. Bring your left heel towards your glute. And you're rolling towards the right. Rolling towards the right. Eventually your foot will come down onto the ground. And you can lower your head here. So getting into the chest and the front side of the shoulder, maybe even feeling a stretch into your arm, your hand. And at the same time, getting this twist through the spine. Now, bring yourself forward onto your belly. And from here, slide your hands beside the ribs. Come into your tabletop position. Now from your table, tuck your toes. Let's take downward facing dog. Lift your hips. And you can push your heels down one at a time as though you're pedaling them down. Deep breaths again, remembering any time that you feel tension in your body, breathe into that space and allow the tension to flow out with the exhale. Now from here, lift your right leg. And as you exhale, come forward into your lunge. You can step the right foot between your hands, bring your left knee to the ground and untuck your toe. Now, from here, bring your arms into a cactus shape. From this cactus, breathe in, lift your heart. And as you exhale, round your spine, bring your forearms together. And tuck your chin. Again, breathe in, lift the heart, open the arms. And as you exhale, round your spine, draw the forearms together. One more. Breathe in, open. Exhale, round. Just double checking something on the tech there. Now you can bring your fingertips to the ground here, okay? And then from here, you want to straighten that front leg, come onto the heel of the front foot. And you're flexing the front foot. At the same time, you want to pull the right hip back. And then from here, you can either reach your arms forward, or you can keep the hands a little closer towards you and lift your heart. Both variations are excellent, whether you choose to extend or not. Now come forward back into your lunge, and we're coming into our downward dog. So tuck the back toe, lift your back knee, and back into your downward dog. Inhale, come forward into your plank pose, come down onto your knees, and all the way down onto your belly. We'll do the other side. Now breathe in, lift your heart, baby cobra. And as you exhale, you can lower back down, this time taking your quad stretch on the left side. You can take your left hand, hold the top of the foot, and bring your forehead to the ground. Now again, to go deeper, engage your glutes. Push your hips to the floor. And you can even consider kicking through the top of the foot as though you're trying to touch the ceiling with the top of your left foot. You can release that leg. Bring your arms into your Sphinx pose, palms and forearms on the ground. Again, imagine that you're drawing the floor towards you. You're going to lift the chest a little bit more. Your shoulders are nice and strong. And your gaze steady between your hands. Now slide the left knee towards the left elbow, coming into that half frog position. And again, staying here on the forearms. Make sure to keep the shoulders nice and strong here, as this is upper body strengthening. at the same time that you're releasing through the hip space. One more breath. Now slide the left leg down. And this time your left arm comes into a T shape with your palm facing down. We're setting up for that twisty belly shoulder stretch. So your left arm in a T, palm facing down, right heel to your glute. And then you roll towards the left side. So getting into the chest, getting into the shoulder. You can lower your head here if you choose. Notice if you're clenching your jaw. And again, relax that space as you soften your jaw and your throat and your heart space. The shoulders and the hips become a little more expandable. With an inhale, roll onto your belly. And then bring your hands down beside your ribs. Let's come back into that downward dog. So through your knees, tuck your toes, and then lift the hips. Push your heels towards the ground. Now, inhale, lift both heels. Exhale, push both heels down. Now lift the left leg only. And come forward into your lunge position. You can lower the back knee, untuck the back toe, and bring your arms into a cactus shaped position. Lift your heart, breathe in. Exhale, round the spine, forearms together. Again, inhale, opening the front of the heart space. Exhale, opening the back of the heart space. One more. Breathe in, open. Exhale, round. Now, open and bring your fingertips to the ground. Straighten the front leg. You're on the heel of the front foot. Think of pulling the little toe edge of the foot. The outer edge of the foot pulls towards your left shoulder. And again, if you'd like, you can reach your arms forward, taking a little bit of a deeper stretch through the back body. Or you can keep your fingertips on the ground and lengthen the spine here, navel to spine, chest elevated. And forward, back into your lunge, and back into your downward dog from here. Come onto your knees. And now, before we go any farther, before we go into our final part of this practice today, from your tabletop position, again, navel to spine, we always want to start with the navel to spine. Stretch your arms forward and keep your hips elevated. Now you're coming onto your forehead here. This pose is called Anahatasana. It's our heart opening pose or heart melting pose. The arms are stretched forward. Your forehead on your mat. And imagine as though you've got someone's hand on the center of your back, just between your shoulders. And imagine that hand very, very lightly pushing down, allowing the heart space to melt open. Deep breath. Slowly walk your hands towards you again. Come back into your tabletop position. Tuck your toes. Downward facing dog. Lift the hips, push your heels towards the floor. Now bend your knees and walk your hands backwards. Bring your hands towards the back of your mat. You're in your standing forward fold. Take your hands to your thighs or shins, lengthen your spine. And then ragdoll position. Hold your forearms or elbows. Relax your head, relax your neck. Deep breaths. Feel your shoulders soften here and really allow gravity to support this opening of the back body. Release. Now relax your arms and walk your hands forward, coming back into that downward dog position, and then onto your knees in the middle of your mat. From here, you can come down into the middle of your mat and sitting. Now you want to make sure that your blanket is somewhere nearby. We'll be using it in a moment. From the middle of your mat, come to your forearms, and then vertebrae by vertebrae roll down, almost like you're getting each vertebrae to come to the floor. Flatten out the back as much as possible. Now you can pull the right knee to your chest. Give yourself a squeeze. Now cross the right ankle over your left thigh, setting up in your figure 4 position. This might already feel like a big stretch, and if that's the case, please stay here. And if you're staying, you could use that right hand and then place it on the right thigh, pushing forward. If you would like to go deeper into your glute, then you keep that right ankle crossed and draw the knees towards your chest. And you're holding on to your left leg. This is our figure 4 position or supine pigeon. Remember your breath here, never letting go of that control over the breath through our practice. Use the breath to release tension. Use the breath. You can release. Place both feet on the ground. And then from here, we'll take a bridge pose. So walk your heels nice and close towards you. And before going any farther, push your low back into the ground. So navel to spine. And imagine trying to have the low rib cage push the floor. Engage your glutes and then lift your hips from here. We're resetting the spine. And you can lower your hips back down. Bring your left knee to your chest. Apologies, left knee this time. And then cross your left ankle, setting up in that same position, the figure 4 that you did on the other side. Whichever variation you took on the other side, honor that here. You can release both legs, place both feet on the ground. Again, you're going to push your low back to the floor, engage your glutes. We'll come back into that bridge pose, lift your hips. And then you can push your hips back down to the ground. Now we'll get set up in our final pose, Shavasana. So if you have some low back pain, you might find that keeping your knees bent feels more comfortable. And you can keep your knees bent, let your knees fall together and separate your feet wide. This is called constructive resting pose. If you prefer a more traditional Shavasana, then you're going to stretch your legs. Let your legs and your arms open wide. And if you'd like some warmth, you can use your blanket and cover yourself up here. And the intention is that you completely relax in this pose. Completely relax. Make sure that your body is symmetrical. And so if your head is turned one direction, you want to maybe take your hands to the back of your head, lift it off the ground, and then place it back down, making sure that your neck is nice and long. And as you're lying here, you can Let go of any control that you have over your breath. Allow your breath to flow naturally and freely. Let go of any control you have over your thoughts and your mind. Let go of any control you have in your physical body. Release control. The exhale allows you to release control and release tension. If you have the time to stay here, you can stay as long as you would like today. Whenever you are ready, slowly come out of this space. Slowly come into a seated position. No sense of urgency. Once you're in your seated position, use that time to connect with your breath, to connect with your heartbeat, a moment of gratitude for a healthy body and a healthy mind that carries you through this life. And I thank you for sharing your practice today. Blessings to you. Namaste.